Okay, I think we're rocking and rolling here. Good afternoon. I'm Paul Hamilton, and I'm I started to say fearless leader. So it's good to see all of you here. I do want to share the agenda with you. I'm assuming I can do that. Can y'all see that? Nod your heads. Okay.
Yes.
So, well, fantastic. So we have the chat is open. And we ask if you would to please put your questions in the chat and we'll monitor that. And if you need to weigh in with a longer thing that's not conducive to the chat feature, just click the raise your hand button on the Zoom and we can call on you. As way of introduction, I wanted to let you know that we have been at work now for I think around 6 to 8 weeks. Your executive team and trying to get things off the ground. With our elder law section, I think there had been some stagnation, and there was a call that Mary Jo put out. Many of you probably saw that email asking for leaders to step forward. And a few of us raised our hand, and here we are. I'm Paul Hamilton. I am the owner and founder of Hamilton Trust Estate and Elder Law here in Valdosta, Georgia. And of course, we deal with this is our sole thing. I know many of you, it's your sole practice area, but many of you also have other areas that you do. This is my 20th year of practicing law. I can't believe that. But I really do enjoy and have a passion for what we do as estate planning and elder law attorneys. I'm a reformed litigator. Did a lot of family law and criminal law, and oh my goodness, I don't miss it a bit. I really do enjoy working with the older population and helping people protect their assets. It's truly wonderful. And I think I'll pass the baton over to Josh to let Josh introduce himself. He is the section vice chair. And Josh, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Thanks, Paul. I'm Josh Nelson from Nelson Elder Care Law. We practice primarily elder law in Cherokee and Cobb counties in Georgia. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary this week, which is pretty cool. We've helped over 7,000 families in those 10 years. I have a staff of over 40 people. And so, what I bring to the group is really some direction and execution. So, like Paul was saying, I think all of us are excited to be able to offer a better level of service, a better level of education to not only the section members, but ultimately the families. And so that's going to be a big part of what we spearhead. We really appreciate you guys' feedback from the survey that you filled out for us. We'll kind of go over that today. And I think that we're going to be able to come up with some really cool ways for elder law lawyers to be able to collaborate more like other practice areas. You know, if any of you are recovering family law or PI attorneys, it seems like if we look at those niches, they tend to be a lot more collaborative than what elder law is. And so we want to change that going over these next couple months.
Wonderful, Josh. Thank you. And I'll now let Bill Rhodes, our section secretary, introduce himself.
Hey guys, I'm Bill. Nice to, I guess, meet y'all, talk to y'all. I see some familiar faces and names on the list here. I'm with a firm in Gainesville, Georgia called Smith, Gilliam, Williams, and Miles. I'm a partner there. I've been doing this about 15 years. My practice is probate, elder law, and then kind of the tangential tax real estate side of things. I'm not a litigator or try not to be. I didn't fall into the trap of being a reformed litigator, so at least that's good. I think I'm personally excited to try to get this started. I've been practicing on an island for a long time, and I think many people in this room have been kind of practicing on an island for a long time. And I'm looking forward to kind of getting some collaboration and feedback and et cetera going. So thank you.
Thank you, Bill. We also have some of our bar staff are with us today, and I'd like for them to introduce themselves as well. Mary Jo?
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Jo Sullivan. I'm the sections director here at the bar, and myself, Lane Sosby and Charlie Smith are here to assist you guys with anything you need. Day-to-day operations is what we do for over 52 sections, so don't hesitate to reach out to us for anything at all. And I really appreciate you guys stepping up to get this rolling again, because it's been inactive. I've been at the bar for almost 10 years, and it's been inactive probably 7 years of that. So if I didn't have you guys to step up and kind of kickstart the interest level in continuing to have this section, I don't know if I could have continued having it at all. So I really appreciate it. And we're here for you. So thank you.
Thank you, Mary Jo. Lane, would you like to introduce
Hey guys,
yourself?
I'm Lane Sosby, and I'm with the State Bar of Georgia. I am our senior sections coordinator, and I'm work with Mary Jo very closely to handle your events and your CLEs. So I'll be one of your main points of contact for any CLE events.
Great, and that's all we have from the bar right now, correct? Great, and I just want to give a hat tip to those guys for everything. Mary Jo, do you want to say something?
No, we do have for those of you that don't know, we have our third member, Charlie, just can't be on this call today because we've got multiple executive committee meetings going on. So she's manning some that are upstairs, but she's here for you too.
And I want to thank y'all. They've been the bar staff's been incredible in helping us, has made this very easy and to get moving and very helpful with resources for us. So with that, I thought we would dive into a little bit of the survey response review, a few of the things that we saw in that. We haven't done a deep dive on that. But we did get good feedback from that survey that we sent out. I was very pleased with the input. And if I can pull this back up, Lane, I know you shared it with me earlier. Is this it? No. You might have to share that link with me again, Lane. I don't know if you're able to post that into the chat or not.
Give me just one moment.
Or where you want to, however you want to send it. You might have sent it. Did you send it by email?
Yes, I sent it via email as well.
Oh, you did? Okay. Then I should be able to pull that back up. Sorry, I didn't have this. Ah, there it is. For some reason, are you able to pull it up and share it, Lane? I can't get to it. I'm sorry.
It's going to take me just a minute because I'm working on two machines right now. So hold on just one
Oh,
moment.
okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. While he's doing that, I want to, I know that we wanted to get an idea on what y'all are looking for from the section. The survey weighed in on some of that. If you want to put some of that in the chat, or if you want to be recognized, we can open that up a little bit for discussion. What you're looking for from the elder law section.
And while you guys are doing that, I think just to share a little bit while we're pulling it up, the majority of you want either 2 or 4 events a year, definitely not anything on the monthly basis. But we got some exciting things over the next 3 months just to get a good kickoff and some momentum behind the section coming that we'll kind of go over later. The group is huge. I mean, so we have over 500 members total, and they're kind of spread throughout the state. So we looked at where do we need to have these events, and the overwhelming response was that most of you want to do the CLE type stuff virtually. As an executive committee, we also want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity for networking in person, and so we'll kind of go through that today as well. Topics ranged all over the elder law spectrum. So everything from VA benefits was a big one, Medicaid was a big one. There's a big change with the transfer on death deeds that we're going to go ahead and do some education coming up with here real soon. So making sure that we're not stepping on like the fiduciary law section's toes, more collaboration with them than anything else, but getting you guys what you need. So I think what Paul's asking for in the chat is the survey results came back as very broad, but do we want to dive in as like a 101 level class? Is it something where we're looking to do deep dives into different types of trusts and how they work? Is it Medicaid planning tactics? Is it VA strategies? What do you guys want to see the most of?
Not everybody at once. Diane?
As if anyone was surprised that I was going to speak. First of all, thank you everyone for restarting this group because it's super, super important. From my perspective, what I'd like to see is I felt like I could get a lot of information about elder law nationally. And that's why I did a lot of national programs. A lot of the elder law information that's available within the state is very basic. I think we could offer more as far as advanced material for teaching different Georgia aspects of elder law. Certainly we could teach it within, just for the breadth of knowledge within the national within national statutes or national trends or what have you, but what are we doing in Georgia? I'd also like to see us to be able to collaborate with DCH and other groups about things that are working and things that are not working. I saw that done, we did that with Academy of National ANSP Special Needs Planners with Social Security, and that was super effective at getting ideas as to, something, hey, we know these are the rules, we don't understand them. Can you explain the how and why so that we can work with you guys? And we also can, we're able to have two-way discussions about things that were not working for us and better ways that we could serve our populations. So starting that dialogue with the state, I think, and not, sometimes I know people will talk in the elder law community about the state organizations and how they're the enemies, and they're not the enemies. They're doing their jobs, but how can we help everyone do their job better? So I'd really like to see us develop that intense state education and understanding. Again, you see that a lot in Florida, you see a lot of that in California, and I'd like to see that happen in Georgia as well.
Oh, that's a great idea. It really is. I think of so many of those agencies and I know we're bumping into, just with Medicaid cases right now, it seems like they're on a denial kick on every one. It would be nice to say, hey, what's going on? Are y'all just overwhelmed? Or it'd be great to start having liaisons with them so we can all kind of address those same things that are touching all of us. So that's great feedback.
This is Bill. Following up on Diane, if people could send me a message, if there are good state contacts, that y'all could send to us so we could reach out to folks as a group instead of individual practitioners, if you can just throw them into the message board or otherwise email us, that way we can try to put something together as opposed to kind of shooting in the dark on this thing.
Lane, can you scroll down to the piece where it talked about the topics that people were interested in? I think that's it right there. So this was the survey response to, I think, different topics people were interested in. So we noticed updates on federal and state legislation affecting elder law being a really big piece. Also, probate and guardianship and conservatorship, some of the basic stuff to be covered there. Medicaid's seem to hit high on this list. Of course, that being a huge component of many elder law practices as well. So succession planning also ranking high, real estate transfers. One of the first things that we have planned for the October live event is a discussion. Bill and I are going to tag team talking about the new transfer on deed statute, because I think it's going to be a estate planning tool for many people. So those are kind of the breakdowns on different topics that people were interested in that came in from the survey. Josh or Bill, do y'all want to weigh in on any of that?
Yeah, so especially one of the questions that we had on the executive team is like, whenever you guys are talking about Medicaid, are you specifically wanting to know about like ABD? Are you wanting to know more about some of the ancillary like in-home programs? How do we best serve that kind of CLE or that kind of education to you? And you can just kind of drop that in the chat, and then we'll gather that as an overall response. But especially for probate, I think that that's another issue where we don't have great state resources. Medicaid, like Diane said, everybody knows about like the elder law boot camps and things like that, but they aren't really focused on Georgia. And we have some really cool exceptions, some really cool planning tools that we can use that don't work in every state. And also some of the things that work in other states aren't necessarily necessary here. So I think doing the deep dive on even like aged, blind, and disabled Medicaid, nursing home Medicaid is going to be helpful. There's a new trend that's popping up with like how you pay your daughter or your son-in-law to be able to get reimbursed through Medicaid. There's a lot of companies that are popping up trying to sell that to people. And how do we make sure that we're educating our families in a way that doesn't feel like they're just shooting in the dark? How do they know how to vet these companies so they don't get scammed? Because unfortunately, some of them aren't always above board. So things like that is where we're thinking about focusing with Medicaid, but we're definitely open to you guys' feedback on that.
Does anybody want to weigh in on other topics that they wish to see, or?
Yeah, in the chat, we're getting a couple things about the waiver programs, especially what do we do in the state to be able to make sure that whenever somebody is transitioning, that it's not just nursing home or nothing. Like how do they find the in between, right? And so I really appreciate you guys' feedback for those of you chiming in the chat there. Speaking like with the state organizations and stuff like that, we have a couple great attorneys in the state that do a lot of like VA benefits, not just aid and attendance, but I think elder law attorneys in general sometimes are a little bit lax on some of the other benefits that come along from the Veterans Affairs Administration. Would you guys want an attorney to do that kind of presentation to you, or do you want us to go get like a state VA rep, or any feedback from that?
Josh, chiming in, I think it'd actually be good to have just a two-person panel. Like have the lawyer along with the VA rep from the state, just bouncing things back and forth off of each other.
Yeah. I know that we have a lot of really great state reps, especially on what the easiest way to get people approved in a timely manner is. But one of the things that they're always have their hands tied with is how do they be on a panel with somebody that's talking about moving assets or, divesting themselves of assets is something that they're usually getting slapped on the wrist for. So I like the panel idea. We got a lot of people in the chat that are talking about a panel, but we'll have to work with them and see where their kind of line is on what they can do. But I like the idea of getting both perspectives, and it seems like based on the chat, a lot of you guys do too.
Yeah, I'm not
And then
seeing, I'm not seeing the chat, so just so y'all know, I'm not seeing the messages pop up in there. So Josh, I think you can see them though.
Yeah, I got it going on the side
I'm
here.
sorry, I've got a silly question. I'm only seeing that I can chat to individuals. Is there a group chat?
Whenever you chat in, the way it does, just because we got 50 people on with us, is it only comes to me, Bill, Paul, or Lane. And so that's
Who-
perfectly fine. For
Who would you
this,
like for it to go to?
Either one of us, it doesn't matter. We're all keeping track of it. If you want to send it to me, because Paul doesn't have it pulled up, I'm happy to be the one to receive it.
Okay.
So again, I'm Josh Nelson, guys. If you want to direct message me, I'll make sure that we put it in the notes for everybody. And then for probate, is it one of the things where we're really looking about client management, estate recovery? Do you guys want to learn about litigation, like contested probate? Is that outside the scope of elder law, do you think, or is that something we're going to want to cover in this section?
Josh, a routine thing I get so much more often now than I did 10 years ago are clients just asking me for revocable trust 101, pour over trust versus probate in Georgia. And that might be, have to do with geography of where I am in the state, because we have gotten a tremendous amount of people from out of state moving here from states where I think revocable trusts, at least in the past, have been a lot more common, and probate might be a little more difficult in those other states. But I do think that, a probate discussion without bringing that up might be not comprehensive.
Okay. I think that brings in a thing that I'll take a note on too, is like, especially in my practice, a lot of the people are moving from different states. So how do we counsel towards that? I think that's probably something that most of us see is, kids are moving their parents from New Jersey down to Georgia to be closer, or from, some other state. And then sometimes how the benefit programs change based on that state. If you've ever had a client that moved down from New York on Medicaid, they're pretty shocked to find out what we do and don't cover compared to what their previous state did. So things like that, I think, could be a fun topic. Not sure who we'd have as a speaker to pull kind of a nationwide, treatise type thing on that, but it's definitely something we can look into.
Yeah, because we want to have, CLE, good topics, good speakers, and also networking. And that's one of the things that, we kind of in the thing we're going to have in October, trying to get 2 CLE hours and a networking event afterwards. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But so, we just want feedback and dialogue with y'all as to what you want out of your elder law section.
Yeah, I think as far as topics go, the chat's cooling down, Paul. So if anybody wants to still send those, they can. But I think we can keep chugging along with the agenda because it's becoming more sparse.
Okay, so emerging issues and topics, that'll be an ongoing thing. I want to make sure we're meeting the desires of the group, and we have funds to do good programs. If we want to bring in, and I forget what the rules are on paying for people to come in. There's some guidelines on that.
Well, you can pay whatever you want. You want to pay travel expenses, if there's speaker fees, whatever you guys decide on. The only thing that can't be reimbursed out of funds is alcohol.
Oh, well, darn.
I know, like the best part.
So you can imagine over the years of being inactive, we have a substantial sum of money that we can invest, and we want to make good use of this for training and developing a network. And and meeting all these needs. So we're excited about that. A little bit more about October the 9th, we will do a live event at the State Bar. I have a CLE from 4 to 6, and those topics are going to be the transfer on death deed, how that also ties in with life estate deed, because those are tools for estate planning that touch on elder law. And also, Josh is going to do a little bit about marketing an elder law practice, which is, the practical aspects of what we do. How do we market? How do we reach people? What are the effective tools for doing that? And have a little Q&A with that as well. And then that'll be from 4 to 6 at the State Bar. And then we'll have, we'll break for a little bit, allow everybody to have some beverages and heavy hors d'oeuvres, and do a little meeting, and then have some networking and meeting and greeting time, and hopefully get to know each other a little bit better. And I know that, so that's what we have planned for October the 9th. I can't remember, is that a Thursday or is that a Wednesday? So it's either a Wednesday, I think it may be a Thursday, but and then we are looking at
Wednesday.
a what?
Wednesday.
And then we're looking at an event, a more social event, of doing Topgolf at the Roswell location, hopefully sometime in November is something we're looking to do. And then we're going to take all of this information that y'all have given us through the survey and try to chart out our January through the remainder of the bar year to do some good things, some more programs, speakers, and whatnot. So do anybody else would like to say anything or offer anything?
Just really appreciate you guys in the chat for giving us some ideas. We've gotten about 6 different speaker recommendations. And so we'll go ahead and take notes of those and reach out to the people. A couple of you guys in your survey did say that you'd be interested in speaking on different topics. And so we'll kind of be reaching out as we get through these first ones to be able to say, what does this take? What does it mean to get certified and all that? But the more interaction we can have from you guys, the more we are going to grow. A couple of suggestions have said that the elder law section is behind on communication, like a listserv or something like that. We were brainstorming this morning on our meeting about, would you guys be interested in like a private Facebook group for like the actual elder law section members? Do you prefer just a traditional listserv type thing? A little bit of feedback on that or clarity would be helpful. I think Facebook, even though everybody can have their own feelings on it, do have a great platform for that kind of thing that's easy to set up. Privacy concerns and stuff like that, but I think it would be a good way for us to collaborate, a good way to like hand stuff off, especially if you need help with a GC or you're having trouble with Medicaid, like Paul was kind of joking earlier that he's on a denial streak, maybe it's worth jumping on a call or a post with somebody and saying, what's going on? Because different people are definitely getting different responses. We all know that depending on who you talk to over at your claims handler or their supervisor, some stuff gets rubber stamped, some stuff gets fine-tooth combed, things like that I think that we can go through. I think Diane had some great ideas as far as how do we talk about really getting with the agencies, how do we have a better relationship with them as a group rather than as individuals, and really just helping the families that we're helping. So is anybody opposed? I know it's hard whenever we have all the chats here, but is anybody just adamant that a Facebook group's a horrible idea? All right, approved.
Unanimous. So I know that we, hopefully this has been beneficial for y'all to have this kickoff. I know we didn't have any CLE programming, but it's been good for us to really kind of share with you some of the survey results. Does anybody have anything they wish to say, address, share with the group in any way before we sign off? I feel like we've exhausted kind of what we wanted to talk to you about, but I also don't want to shortchange if anybody wants to weigh in. Okay. Get anything through the chat or anything? Okay. Well, I'm going to give you 30 minutes of your time back. How about that? Is that good? It's a real pleasure to have seen all of you on here. I hope to see you in person. Please come to this event. Please bring a friend that's in elder law with you as well. And I'm looking forward to a great year of us working together and collaborating both personally and professionally. And thank you all for coming today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's meeting. Thank you for joining. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.